Welcome back. And in this session, we are going to see what exactly we are going to recap the identification of Sanskrit words, verbs, like that I said. What exactly we are going to do and what are all the tips like that I will be telling. But I cannot make all the tips in a printed sheet because it comes at that moment when I am reading a story. At that moment, I feel this is how you can do, that is how it is like this way of explanation comes then and there. So as you go through all those stories which we are discussing in so many lectures, you will gradually get the idea, and that clarity you will get uh, naturally. Okay. The first thing is, we studied so many tense and moods. As I said, there are 10 tense and moods in Sanskrit. Out of that, 8 tense and moods we know. Out of those 8, maximum in classical Sanskrit, you find 5 tense and moods. Those 5 tense and moods, we did so much exercise, and here I am just recapping. So we, first of all, we should be in a position to look at the verb and tell what lakara, what tense, or in what mood the verb is used. So this is just to recap what we already studied. Okay, you can keep a note sheet wherein all these verb forms written down. I want you to write down. Keep this sheet of paper ready with you whenever you are reading story, so that when you get doubt, immediately you can look this chart and you can understand the tense and the lakara. This practice may be required initially, and gradually you will find yourself comfortable by looking at the verb form and tell whether it is so and so lakara, that is so and so tense, and so vachana, purusha, like that, whether it is first person, second person, third person, or it is a singular, dual, plural, like that. So here, and we studied this also, the verbs are of two types. One is called parasmaipadi, one is called atmanepadi. And if a verb has both form, then such verbs are called ubhayapati. Like that, we know these three forms of verbs. I am just giving idea about the forms of those parasmaipadi, atmanepadi, dhatu, that is verb root, in the common 5 lakaraha, which we repeatedly, frequently come across in classical language text. Okay, so here the dhatu is vad dhatu, vadati, vadataha, vadanti, vadasi, vadataha, vadatha, vadami, vadavaha, vadamaha. All that we studied, we know. I'm just recapping so that we have to keep this ready. The same lat lakara, present tense, if it is in atmanepadi dhatu, then here the dhatu is save dhatu, and the forms are sevate, sevete, sevante, sevase, sevethe, sevadve, seve, sevavahe, sevamahe. So the latlakara form of latlakara means present tense, parasmaipadi and atmanepadi. And we also know very, very well that in Sanskrit, the subject and the verb should match. Correct? Saha sevate, tvam sevase, aham seve. So according to the Purusha, third person, second person, first person, the verb form is to change. And according to the Vachana, te sevante, vayam sevamahe, Yum sevadve. So the plural means plural form of the verb is to be used. That we have to remember. That we will come to know by reading the sentences. As we read the sentence, we will know from the verb form, we know the subject is plural, or from the subject, we will know the verb should be plural. Like that, our mind will do this exercise automatically. Then in the past tense, lang lakaraha, avadat, avadatam, avadan, avadadah, avadatam, avadat, avadata, avadam, avadava, avadama. The dhatu is the same vad dhatu. In parasmaipadi form verb, this is how the 9 forms are. And you can see that in past tense, the verb form will start with a. If it is with upasarga, then it will be having different starting form. That I will be telling every now and then when we come across a verb with upasarga. Similarly, for Atmanepadi Dhatu in past tense, Lang Lakara. And I said that many times in those 3 courses, instead of using Lang Lakara, if we use Lat Lakara, that is the present tense form, with the Sma, Saha Vadati means he says. Saha Vadati Sma means he told. So using that sma and the present tense form, totally we can remove this past tense form. So this is for the simplicity of learning the language. But the past tense forms are to be used and the past tense forms are to be learned. It is not that we can discard these forms. So we can use either way like that. We have to understand. In the Atmanepadi Dhatu form, that is save Dhatu again, asevata, asevetam, asevatam, asevanta, asevathaha, asevatham, asevadhvam, aseve, asevavahi, asevamahi. Like that, I have given all forms. I request you to go through these forms and read yourself. And you can see that present tense forms and future tense forms, the endings are same. Vadati, vadataha, vadanti. Here, vadishyati, vadishyataha, vadishyanti. The end is same. Ishyati, ishyataha, ishyanti. Like that it ends. Similarly, in Atmanepadi, ishyate, ishyete, ishyante. It ends in the same. So you can have the similarity between. See, now this is what I say. When you think and construct sentence, the present tense form you make yourself thorough. The past tense form you can achieve by using sma with the present tense form. The future tense form you can get by using ishyate, ishyati, like that, the present tense form only. So if you know the present tense form thoroughly, the future tense form and the past tense usage we can do only with that present tense form as a beginner. And as you get more clarity, then we can start using past tense form also, future tense form also. Similarly, we are having 2 mood we discussed in these 3 courses elaborately, and this is what I say: 3 tenses, present, past, future, and 2 mood: order, request mood, and this vidhi, vidhi mood, asha, vidhi, sambhavana, like that. So in the lot lakara, vadatu, vadatam, vadantu, vada, vadatam, vadata, vadani, vadava, vadama. Parasmaipadi dhatu. And you can see some of that past tense form and lot lakara form, they have some similarity. So keep this table. I have given 5 tense mood for Parasmaipadi and Atmanepadi. So if you write down side by side in a big sheet of paper, in a A4 size sheet of paper, if you write down all side by side, keep that sheet with you whenever we are reading story, then it will be very handy. Similarly, in Atmanepadi form, Save dhatu. Sevatam, sevetam, sevantam. Sevasva, sevetham, sevadhvam. Sevai, sevavahai, sevamahai. And the potential mood, vidhiling lakara. Vidhiling means uh, this is a type of uh, vidhi. Uh, vidhi means that let it be like that. A type of wish, a type of order like that also. It is just like order from God like that. Let you not speak lie like that. Asatyam na vadet means don't say asatya. Satyam vadet, say truth like that. So uh, in Parasmaipadi, vadet, vadetam, vadeyuhu, vadehe, vadetam, vadeta, vadeyam, vadeva, vadema. And in Atmanepadi form, seveta, seveyatam, severan, sevethaha, seveyatham, sevedhvam, seveya, sevevahi, sevemahi. You can see in Atmanepadi in Ling Lakara, that is Vidhiling Lakara, that last letter of the verb will be ekara only. Whatever may be the verb, the last letter will be ekara. Eta, eyatam, eran, etaha, eyatham, edhvam, eya, evahi, emahi. So if you separate that u plus a, all are ending with a. Then we studied about passive forms. Passive form means the verb forms are different. The present tense, whatever form we just saw in the earlier tense screen, they are in active voice construction. The verb forms are in active voice construction. When we are constructing a sentence in passive form, the verb form should be used like this only. Patyate, patyete, patyante. पट्यसे पट्येथे पट्यध्वे पट्ये पट्यावहे पट्यामहे. I just gave for lat lakara because you already noted the 5 lakara. Same fashion, this verb also used in all different lakara. And if you notice, I said this in the earlier courses also. In passive form, all verbs are treated. All the 2000 odd verb roots in Sanskrit, they are treated as Atmanepadi verb form for passive usage of verb. Then the causal verb form. Causal means making someone to do, like that. All the causal verb forms, they are treated as Ubhayapadi. That means they can be written in Parasmaipadi form also, Atmanepadi form also. But mostly we find all the causal verb forms are in Parasmaipadi. They are very rarely you will find it in Atmanepadi. And we have to remember this point, object and verb will match in passive voice, subject and verb will match in active voice. Okay, so patati, patataha, patanti, same way, patayati, patayataha, patayanti. So all the endings are same. The verb only pat is the dhatu. But when it is causal, it becomes part as the verb. Then patayati, patayataha. Okay. Now, different nouns we studied. All I am recapping. Most of the masculine words, pullinga shabdaha, we will find akarandaha, ikarandaha, ukarandaha, rikarandaha. And most of the feminine words, we will find akarandaha, ikarandaha, ikarandaha, ukarandaha, ukarandaha. Most of the neuter words, that is napumsakalinga shabdaha, we find akarandaha, ikarandaha, ukarandaha, rikarandaha. So if you look at that, if you analyze, mostly this many vowel ending word if we thorough, then maximum text we can understand. And except for some variation with Napumsakalinga Shabda, Prathama and Dutiya will be different from masculine. Otherwise, all other forms are equal to masculine. That also we know. Consonant ending word, that is takaranta, sakaranta, nakaranta, jakaranta, like that. Consonant ending words, they are almost similar in masculine, feminine, that is Pullinga, Strilinga, Napumsakalinga, except for some minor variation. All such things we studied in course 2, and how different forms are made, that in detail we studied in course 3. So keep all those knowledge in mind. And whenever we look at a word and we have doubt, immediately in mind we have to recite that 21 forms like Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramau, Ramane, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. Like that we have to recite. By doing that recitation, we keep the word forms strongly in our mind. And whenever we look at a word from the form, we have to understand the gender. That I will be telling. All these things I will be telling while reading. I will say this is Akaranta Shabdaha. This is Pullinga Shabdaha. This is Napumsakalinga Shabdaha. This is in Pratama Vibhakti. Like that, I will be telling while reading this story. All this knowledge you yourself have to recap from the earlier, or if you have not gone through my courses, you have some knowledge from whatever notes knowledge you have. Keep all this in your mind fresh. Then we have to observe the linga vachana vibhakti matches. When a sentence is formed, how according to the subject, object, the linga vachana vibhakti, they are matched. That we have to look into. When we look at the proper noun, pronoun, question words, we should know the vibhakti form and how they are matching. These are all the normal words. Ramaha, Akaranta Shabdaha, Harihi, Ikaranta Pullinga Shabdaha, Guruhu, Ukaranta Pullinga Shabdaha, Pita, Rikaranta Pullinga Shabdaha, Karta, Rikaranta Pullinga Shabdaha, Gohu. This is Okaranta Go Shabdaha. Like that, Rama, Matihi, Gauri, Dhenuhu, Vadhu, Mata. They are all Strilinga. Phala, Vari, Madhu, Kartru. They are all Napumsakalinga. Saha, Sa, Tat, Yeshaha, Yesha, Etat, Kaha, Ka, Kim. They are all pronoun and question word. The Kridantas, we can understand by looking at the word because they are always derived from verb. So, patitva, patitum, patitavan. So, the first part which I showed in blue color, from that you can understand it is pat dhatuhu. So, in a word, if dhatu is available as the first part, the suffixing is the second later part. So if dhatu is visible, we can understand it is Kridanta Shabdaha. And Taddidanta Shabdaha, they are derived from noun. So if you look at the word Dasharataha, Dasharatihi, Shuraha, Shauryam, Shuratvam, Shurata, Buddhihi, Buddhiman, Gunaha, Gunin. So from the word, if you look at the first part, Shaurya, Shura, Shura, Buddhi, Guna, Dasha. Like that, if you look at the first part of the word, we know it is not looking like a verb root. So when it is not verb root, it is Taddidanta Shabda. Roughly, in a crude style, we can understand this. Then we will be looking at, as we progress through stories, we will be looking at these words. Anishya Artha Shabdaha. Anishya Artha Shabdaha. Like Chit, Chana, Api, Pratyaya, we studied that in course 1, course 2, course 3. In all the courses we studied. In course 2, we studied more elaborately. In course 1, we studied introductory level. Kaschit, Kanichit, Kaschana, Kopi, like that, the word when we come across, we can understand it is Anishya Artha Shabdaha, Chit Chana Shabdaha. Then the conjunction pairs we studied in course 1, course 2, we examined that. Yatha tatha, yada tada, yat tat, yavat tavat, yadi tarihi, yadyapi tathapi. These conjunction pairs are meant for to join two subclasses, three subclasses of a sentence and make a complex sentence. Then we studied these conjunctions like ataha, yataha, chet, iti, eva, like that. So many conjunctions we studied. How they are all used in sentence, that we will observe. All the 22 prefixes, whatever we studied in course 1 and course 2, and in course 3 how the prefixes changes the verb form. In course 2 we studied that sandhi, how the sandhi is to be applied in past tense verb form when the verb root is prefixed with this upasarga. All that we will observe while reading this story. Then different indeclinables, whatever we studied, we know already. All that we will identify in the story. And something new when we come across, we will get that knowledge. Like Sayam, Prataha, Vina, Diva. Like that, so many we studied. Whatever we studied, whatever we know, see, we are not going to study from the story. We are going to study how all the verbs, words are employed, how the sentences are framed, how the expressions are made. That is what we are going to read from the story. And the storyline also, the story, the meaning, and the Nyaya, Dharma, Shastra by which the king, that we are going to read. So, this is going to be very engaging and wonderful and relaxing course for you. Then the voices, the active voice, passive voice, impersonal voice, this all we studied. So we have to remember this point, the subject and verb should match in active voice. Subject will be in Prathama Vibhakti, object will be in Ditiya Vibhakti. Ramaha Pustakam Patati. Ramaha Prathama Vibhakti, Pustakam Dutiya Vibhakti Patati. Ramaha Ekavachanam Patati. Balakaha Grantam Patanti. That is one grantha. Grantaha, grantau, grantan. In Dutiya Vibhakti, grantan. In Pratama Vibhakti, granthaha. So, balakaha grantham patanti. So, verb is plural, object balakaha, plural. Grantham, object, single. So, it is grantham. Suppose the object is plural, grantaha. Then, balakaha grantan patanti. Granthan, grantah, grantau, grantaha, grantham, grantau, granthane, granthena, granthabhyam, granthaihi. Like that, that 21 forms we will recite every now and then. Then the passive voice sentences means what? Object and verb should match. Subject will be in Tritiya Vibhakti, object will be in Pratama Vibhakti. And the verb form will be in Atmanepati form. Ramaha Patham Patati. Ramena Pataha Patyate. You see the difference between, I will write down. Ramaha Patham Patati. This is active voice. Kartari Prayogaha. Kartari Prayogaha. Like that we say in Sanskrit. Kartari Prayogaha. Active voice. Ramaha Prathama Vibhakti. Patham Ditiya Vibhakti. Patati. This is present tense verb form. Lat lakaraha. Rama reads lessons. Rama reads. Reads is patati. Lesson is patam. Now in passive voice, the subject should be, what is written? Subject should be in Tritiya Vibhakti. So, Ramena. So, we should know all the 7 Vibhakti. This I said we should be in a position to remember. Ramaha, Ramam, Ramena, Ramaya, Ramat, Ramasya, Rame. These are all the 7 Vibhakti form. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Raman, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha, Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha, Ramasya, Ramayohu, Ramanam, Rame, Ramayohu, Rameshu, He Rama, He Ramo, He Ramaha. This 21 forms. So the Tritiya Vibhakti is Ramena. Ramena, and the object should be in Pratama Vibhakti. Object is in so Ramena Pataha. Pratama Vibhakti. Patati. This is the verb. This verb should be in passive form. The verb should be in passive form. So Ramena Pataha Patyate. Patyate, patyete, patyante. Like that. It should be in Atmanepadi form. Vandate, vandete, vandante. Sevate, sevete, sevante. So, Ramena Pataha Patyate. Lesson is read by Rama. Lesson is read by Rama. Rama reads lesson. That is active voice. Kartari Prayoha. Here it is passive voice. Karmani Prayogaha. Karmani Prayogaha. Karmani means the importance is on that karma. Patha is the karma. Karta. Karta is Rama. So the importance is on Rama. In Kartari Prayogaha, importance is on Karta. In Karmani Prayogaha, importance is on karma. Okay. Then we can use either Kridanda Shabdaha. Ramena Pataha Patitaha. Like that we can say. Ramena Pataha Patitavyaha. Ramena Pataha Pataniyaha. Like that also we can say. We will analyze all such sentences. Then in impersonal voice, we will not find the object. Ramena Hasitam. Ramena Hasitam. Like that we will find no object, and the verb will be intransitive verb. The subject is in Tritiya Vibhakti. The verb will be normally in Pratama Purusha. In other Purusha, you don't find in impersonal voice. Okay. So the goal, overall goal of this course is to read and understand Sanskrit stories. If you say that. But why? To identify, improve the knowledge of verb, root, tense, mood with upasarga, that is prefix, without upasarga, like that. Then to identify and improve this ajanda shabdaha, halanda shabdaha, consonant ending words and vowel ending words, consonant ending words. Ajanda shabdaha means vowel ending. Halanda shabdaha means consonant ending. We studied halanda shabda, ajanda shabda in course 2. We studied in course 3 how different ajanda, halanda shabda forms are made. What rules are to be kept in mind, like that. Then we will identify and improve the knowledge of sentence construction, symbol, complex, using these conjunctions, conjunction pairs, whether it is active voice, passive voice, or impersonal, bhave, prayogaha, all that we will study. Then we will identify and improve the natural expressions available in Sanskrit. And we will improve our interest in reading, and we will improve in our reading skills and sentence construction skills. Once we attain all that, naturally we will speak, because the hesitation gradually we will break. Like that, we will start moving forward. So this is the overall objective of this course from this 50. And all the 50 stories, 50 different words, vibhakti, that like that tabulation I am not going to do. And I suggest there is no need for you to do such tabulation also. All the verbs, all the forms, all the words like that, there is no need to do, and don't do. If we are doing, if we do like that, there is no end in Sanskrit for that. That is why if we gradually do that, then on our own everything we will remember. We will remember and we will naturally retrieve from our mind. This is Tumun Shabda, this is Iktanda Shabda, Iktavatu Shabda, Lyap Shabda, Tadidanda Shabda. This is Lang Lakara, Lat Lakara. This is Shashti Vibhakti. This is Pratama Vibhakti. This is Avjaya. This is Visheshana. This is Anichya Shabda. All that we will come to know. I will make you that quality or the level, improvement in your level using these 50 stories. Okay, that is my objective. And the course objective, my objective. Okay, I want every reader, everyone who is going through this course to come to that level, to improve that level. Because I did like this, I read hundreds of stories, so I felt same way I can. I will. It will be very relaxing and time passing. It's not a strenuous reading exercise. Okay. As I said, the evaluation is to be done by you. And I am very, very sure that after completion of this course, you will be naturally in a position to examine every word, verb, and sentence when you are reading text. Thereby, your understanding and comprehension, cognition will improve. Your reading speed will improve, your accuracy in reading will improve, and your way of grabbing the contextual meaning of verb and word, that will improve. Your improvement in sentence construction, you yourself will feel you will start constructing sentences correctly. Mostly to start with, take the dialogues of this and construct the same way, and afterwards it will be automatic on your own. You will naturally say the sentence, so naturally you will start speaking. You will break the silence and speak on your own naturally by these dialogues. Naturally, you know how to raise the question. In Sanskrit, the question also to be raised properly. Kaha gataha, who went? Ka gata, ka gata means feminine gender, strilinga. Kaha gataha, kaha agataha means who came. When you say kaha agataha, you know some male person. Ka agata, then you know it is female person, like that. So the natural way of putting questions, I will be doing that in these 50 stories every time. So you can grab that also. And finally, you will get the capability to naturally create error-free sentences. So using these 50 stories, you get so much different knowledge in so many ways. So as I say, it's not simply learning the language structure. It is to apply the skills we learned, and that application of that, for that I am making these three courses. One is this course. After completion of this course, I will come with that shloka course, and then I will come with speaking course. So all the three courses are application of whatever we learn. Hope you will enjoy this course. I will see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice time.